This is going to be the first in an ongoing series that focuses on the greatest sports rivalries of all time. And for our first episode, I wanted to kick it off, pun intended, with the world's most popular sport, football/soccer. There are a few insane rivalries in professional football, including several still to come in this series, but I thought I'd kick it off in Spain, where a rivalry, which has developed over more than a century, continues to be one of the most intense in not just football, but indeed any sport globally. I'm talking, of course, about Barcelona versus Real Madrid. Now, you know a rivalry is good when it has its own name. Any match between Barcelona and Real Madrid is known as El Clásico in Spanish, or El Clàsic in Catalan. I don't think that needs to be translated into English, but I'll do it anyway. That means the classic. And right there, just the fact that I had to express this in two different languages tells you what sits at the heart of the Barcelona versus Real Madrid story. Because like all great sports rivalries, it stopped being about sports a long time ago, or at least the sports are not as important as the social, cultural, or political themes that sit ever so slightly beneath the surface. Let's start with a bit of history so we can set the stage. The background. I want to put in a quick word here before I dive into this too hard. There is no way I can possibly sum up the full, incredibly complex backstory that exists behind this rivalry. So what follows is a very quick summary. Please don't bash me if I skip some of the details. Anyway, here goes. The football club Barcelona is located in, Barcelona. Barcelona is in Spain, yes, but it's also the capital of the autonomous community of Catalonia. Most of Catalonia's territory is located in the northeast corner of Spain and to the south of the Pyrenees Mountains, right along the border with France and Andorra. And while I'm going to have to simplify this a lot, suffice to say there are some differences between Catalonia and the rest of Spain. First off, Catalonia has its own language, Catalan. Curiously, this language is actually a lot closer to French or Italian than it is to Spanish or Portuguese. The governments of Barcelona and Catalonia conduct their business in Catalan, so this isn't just some historic thing. It's used on a day-to-day basis within everyday government, business, and life. But there are more differences than that, some subtle and some more obvious, between Catalonia and the rest of Spain. The economies are focused in different areas. The food is even slightly different. There are some unique holidays in Catalonia. There are even some artistic and creative differences. But the point is that Catalonia sees itself as distinct and unique from the rest of Spain. And for a very long time, that has led to tension with Spain. This tension dates back an awfully long way, and it got really exacerbated during Francisco Franco's dictatorship, which famously suppressed regional identities, including Catalonia's. Barcelona as a city emerged as a symbol of Catalan resistance, and the perception was that the city that best symbolized the opposing Spanish nationalism was the capital of Spain, Madrid. And really, Madrid is not just the capital of Spain. That would be really downplaying its significance. Madrid is the largest city in Spain. It's the second largest city in Europe. It's the seat of the Spanish national government, and it's the predominant Spanish leader in culture, fashion, education, entertainment, and more. And it's this outsized influence that has long created problems with Barcelona and Catalonia as a whole, which has actively resisted this Spanish push and pull, up to and including major calls for independence from Spain over the years. But going back to the football, from the very start, Barcelona and Real Madrid were seen as representatives of these two rival regions in Spain. So when you combine these long simmering tensions with a sport like football, so beloved by the entire population, it's easy to see how things can get heated. And boy, howdy, have things had a tendency to get heated over the years. One writer even compared it to a constant reenactment of the Spanish Civil War. Another writer, Phil Ball, the author of Morbo, the story of Spanish football, says this about the relationship between Barcelona and Real Madrid, quote, "They hate each other with an intensity that can truly shock the outsider," end quote. Wow. So with that in mind, let's get into some of the milestones between these two enemies. The rivalry. With both teams in La Liga, the top tier of Spanish soccer, they play each other frequently. And since both clubs are among the best, most successful, and most valuable football franchises in the world, they often meet in other venues as well, such as the UEFA Champions League. This provides plenty of opportunities for the rivalry to not just continue, but expand and evolve. But far from being localized to just Spain, both Barcelona and Real Madrid have truly global fan bases, as they are both super popular around the world. They are two of the most followed sports teams on social media. Not only that, but both clubs have featured some of the biggest names in football over the decades. Messi and Ronaldinho are among Barcelona's most famous players, while Real Madrid's rosters included heavyweights like Cristiano Ronaldo and David Beckham. And I'm totally skimming the surface with these names. I know I'm missing a bunch, people. I know there's more. I just can't sit here all day and list players, but feel free to put your favorites from these teams in the comments below. Anyways, as you'd expect, there have been a number of wild moments between these two teams. In the 1943 Copa del Generalissimo semifinals, Barcelona won the first leg 3-0 at home, but Madrid had complained about the officiating and the quality of the pitch. Insults were thrown around, there was seriously rough play on the pitch, refereeing bias was brought up, the usual stuff. But in the end, the Real Madrid players and fans were none too pleased. For the second game, Barcelona fans were forbidden from traveling to Madrid. The Barcelona team were insulted and stones were thrown at their bus as soon as they left their hotel. Coins were thrown at the players on the pitch. A bottle was thrown that would have killed a guy if it had hit him. They were ridiculed as separatists and traitors. Real Madrid ended up beating Barcelona 11-1. Yes, 11-1 in the second leg at home. But that score didn't really tell the whole story. The rivalry then intensified during the 1950s when the clubs disputed the signing of Argentine forward Alfredo Di Stefano. Both clubs wanted him, and there was a fierce battle for the right to sign him. FIFA appointed the former president of the Spanish Football Federation as a mediator to solve the problem. And his solution was that he decided to let Di Stefano play alternating seasons, 2 each, between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Even though this was agreed by Barcelona, it still wasn't exactly what they wanted and what they thought was right. And in the end, they sold their half share to Real Madrid. And even though they got a pretty penny for that share, insult was added to injury when Di Stefano became integral to Madrid's success, and he helped them win the first 5 editions of the European Cup, which is now the Champions League. Moving forward, in 1968, Barcelona beat Real Madrid 1-0 in the Copa del Generalissimo final, but yet again, the referee was accused of bias towards Barcelona, and again, more bottles were thrown at the players on the pitch. Making it even more dramatic, the referee accused the Real Madrid manager of offering him a bribe before the match, specifically offering him a pre-match gift, and I'm guessing this wasn't some gift card or anything. General Franco presented the trophy to Barcelona with the field covered in bottles, leading to this match forever being known as the Final of the Bottles. In more recent times, a strange situation occurred with the transfer of Luis Figo. In 2000, Figo swore up and down to anyone who would listen, including his own teammates and club management, that he wanted to stay in Barcelona. He even did an interview to directly address Barcelona's fans, assuring them that he wasn't going anywhere. And then, immediately after, he joined Real Madrid. Yikes. Upon his return to Barcelona wearing a Real Madrid jersey, he was greeted with banners that read Judas, scum, mercenary, all of this in the stadium itself. But that was the easy bit. He had a wild array of stuff thrown at him, including oranges, cigarette lighters, and even a few cell phones. And remember, this is in 2000, those are expensive. In his third season with Real Madrid in 2002, he was taunted throughout, subject to a barrage of coins, a knife, a whiskey bottle, all this being thrown at him. There was even a pig's head among the debris. Come on, what rivalry has pig's heads? The legacy. I could go on for days. There are so many stories like this, but I think you get the idea. The rivalry between Barcelona and Real Madrid transcends football and carries significant political and cultural implications. The rivalry is highly intense and it's widely viewed globally, with each club having tens of millions of fans around the world. And since both clubs are among the world's wealthiest and most successful, this just amplifies their competitive and ideological clash. And all of this serves as an outlet for the much larger socio-political tensions up to and including Catalonia's independence movement. And truly, no series on sports rivalries would be complete without Barcelona and Real Madrid. If there are any more sports rivalries you'd like to see me cover, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But please, even though this is a series on rivalries, let's be nice to each other in the comments, okay? Until next time, friends.